Let's make cute, cozy cottage journaling cards. Hello and welcome to the Treasured Page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. Welcome everybody and a huge happy new year to you all. So pleased to be here with you. I'm really thankful that you can join me today. So welcome to the monthly project for the Treasured Page. Every month I put out a challenge for you on the first of every month, and this is this month's challenge. We're going to be making 3 journaling cards in the shape of little cottages, and this month we're also going to be making a folio, a trifold folio. We're going to be making that out of a file folder if you have one, or packaging if you don't. And it's going to be something like this. So today I'll show you how I folded it and prepared it for decoration, and I'm going to show you how to make a journaling card to match. These journaling cards are going to come and live within the folio eventually, so we're going to be looking at making the pockets, and we'll be embellishing it on another video, so that is going to get the project started today. Now this new project is all linked with my winter sender signature project. This is something that I have running over on my Facebook group page. You can find the link in the description below if you'd like to see how all the other creators who get involved with the Treasured Page monthly swaps, they post up the pictures of the make that we were looking at last month. So in December we were looking at colour swatches and how we can make belly bands or side tucks with them, and these are the ones that I have put together. Now I haven't shown a video of this, but it is quite self-explanatory. What we've got here is the strip that has been coffee stained and tea stained, and this is a thicker paperweight, and then there's little tiles there where I've added, if you can see, vintage lace, just a little sampler, and I've used my stamps and a cluster up the top. So these are just some fun ideas. You can have a go if you would like to get involved in this winter signature idea. What you would need to do is just fold some papers up, bind them with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, or just tie some string around, just some folded papers. We are working with the dimensions of 21 centimeters by 11 centimeters. So it's roughly 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. Or 8 1/2, I think it is, 8 1/2 inches. And then you just put some papers in there, and you can have any mixed papers that you like, vintage papers, artistic papers, tea and coffee stained papers, and you can put in some folds, because when you make your little colour swatches, this is the sort of thing that you can add in onto a page flip, and then they become something that embellishes the hard line of that fold out there. So that's that. Now this was a scrap pack that I'm sending out, because this is going off to my swap partner Claire from Portsmouth, who very kindly sent me some gorgeous things earlier on last year. So I am packaging that off to her now. Then we're going to focus in on this one, and we're also going to have a quick look at my parcel that I've received, see how she got on with the colour swatch idea throughout December. So for this project you're looking at some thin, lightweight cardstock, perfect to use and recycle any holiday cards you may have got. So this is a perfect thickness, and so is a file folder. Okay, if you'd like to craft along with me, I'm just using basic supplies. I've got my ruler, my scissors, I've got my ink blending tool. I'm using vintage photo in an oxide ink, but you don't need it in oxide, just a brown ink will be fine, or it could be a rusty colour. Anything that gives a little bit of warmth to the project would be great. Going to be using a black ink, or a very dark brown would be great. The black ink is for the windows, so you probably want to use that, or a very dark blue would be great. We're just using some scrap cardstock and some scrap papers to embellish, and I've got a bit of coffee stained photocopy paper there to line the back of our journaling card. And then of course we need some glue. I'm using a wet glue and my stick glue. We're going to use both of those to help the project. And for embellishment you can use anything you like. I've got a lace trim that goes across the top to separate the roof from the house, a little bit of sari silk. Now the theme for this month is home and hibernate, so I've got a little swatch here of fabric pieces which I thought was quite nice as a different alternative way of putting a bit of decoration on. But you could have a die cut of a flower, you could have a paper doll, you could have fabric and lace and the things that you have to hand, so you will embellish it how you see fit based on the things that you have in front of you. You might like to put flowers or die cuts or fussy cuts or ribbon, anything at all. So all the fun things, and maybe some washi tape as well. We'll probably be bringing in some washi tape. I did that up the side, so we'll recreate what I've got here. So this was just some cardstock. It is a thicker card and it's got the decorative images on there. I don't tend to use this, I don't tend to care for it, but what I do like about this is that it reminded me somewhat of some shabby chic wallpaper. So if you've got wallpaper, that would be great as well, because you can definitely use that. But I'm just using basic supplies that I think most people will be able to find. And if you can't, you can certainly cut this out of a magazine or a book or some sort of supplement that you might have that comes through the door. So just looking for a floral image for this shabby chic style. And then on the back of it, you can make a mark if you have a pen as well. Sorry, should have said. So grab a pen or a pencil and work out your middle part here. So this is 8 centimeters by 15 centimeters, but it is just a junk piece, a scrap. It's basically a 6-inch piece because it came from a pad that's 6 inches. Okay, and then I've got 3 1/4 across there. Now I've marked out the middle and I've put a dot there. And then I've come 1 1/2 inches down roughly and I've put a dot there, and then I've lined it up and put a dot there. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. If you like it to be so, then definitely measure it out. But if you're quite happy to just chop at random, then do just that. Just chop off and make a triangle shape at the top, because the more wibbly wobbly it is, the more homemade and quirky your little journaling card is going to appear. So now you've got that. That's really straightforward. I'm bringing in this scrap of card just so that we can do some inking and things and not get the table too filthy. And what I'm going to do now is add some of the decorative elements, and then I'm going to do the stamping. The windows go on last. So what I'm looking for now is something that will be on the roof. Now when it comes to the windows, you don't need these, but if you do have anything like this, little sticky labels, they've been perfect because I've just been able to blacken them with the ink and then to stick them onto a piece of card to create my window panes. So these came from WH Smith for those in the UK, and all good stationers I'm sure would do these little tiny labels. If not, what you can do is just cut either a sticky label into smaller pieces, or what we do is just get another strip of paper, make the whole thing black with ink, and then we cut our rectangles and put them on separately. Now for my roof, I'm going to choose this paper and I'm going to just put down some glue, stick down my paper here, and I cut out the shape. Okay, so that is the roof on. It looks a bit wonky. Doesn't matter, we're going to be putting a little embellishment piece over the top of that, tie that all together. Then what I did is to add some washi tape, so I've got some here. Now with this one I put the washi tape over on this side. I'm going to change it and put it on this side this time just to give a varying look. So I'm adding the text there. That could just be torn from an old book page or a newspaper. I'm putting that down there on that side. So this time I'll have my window over here, I think. And maybe I will put my door on this side. So I'm going to use this paper again for my door. I'm just going to cut out another door shape like that. Maybe that's a bit too wide. Trim that down. Those scrap pieces might be useful. Just trim that down and have that there. So I'm just inking around my door, give this a bit more definition. Keeping this scrap as well because it may look nice to have this bit over the top of the door. So I'm just going to see if I like that and put that there. Yes, That's a new addition, so we learn as we go. I think I like that. So now I'm just going to stick my door in place. I've got this little piece which I'm going to put over the top of the door. And what I want now is some washi tape down the side. I don't want the big bold text, so I'm just looking for a little strip. This piece of washi tape, I'm just going to put it on the same side, even though the window's coming over here. Just think that that will look good, so we'll just add that there. I'm just tearing that away so that I've still got my text, and we'll reposition this, just some numbers up here, and just follow that up there so that I can read that if I want to. And then I've got this piece now, just washi tape with a little bit of texture on it, just seems to add something to the piece. There we go, just add that in there. It just adds a little bit of a depth to the piece. It gives it some texture and some intrigue. So we've got a number here which would be quite fun. I might have that on the door in a minute, so I'll just pull that off to remind myself that I probably want that number on this door. Okay, so far so good. So we're going to have windows. We'll have a window there and we'll have a window there. We need to make those. Now, just to have more of a play and to add more depth to the piece, I'm going to be using some rubber stamping here, but stenciling would be great as well. Now, I've got a rubber stamp that has got some text on it, which I used here, and that just gave it a bit of a slight grunge or textured effect. But I've also got one that has got some brickwork, so that could look good. But this one's already got some square paper going on at the back there. So I'm thinking some florals might look nice because I've already got numbers going on. And the other thing that might look nice is some textured, so cracks would look good. So I might take that one. Okay, this stamp set comes with something that looks like crackle, so I might use that. I think that's quite fun. I've got a little leaf shape already on here. Let's just see what it looks like with the brown. Let's just put a little stamping down there. Not sure about that. I think black would be the better one. Okay, I'm just going to put my black. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's try a little bit of crackle with the black ink. I don't want much, just a little bit. Just maybe on the door, like that. Just a little over here. That's fun. Probably up here as well. Okay, that adds some texture, so that could be peeling paint, a shabby chic sort of a vibe. So I'll put that to one side. I don't think we need anything more, so you just use one stamp. So it's either a floral, it's a text, it's a square or a brickwork, or it could be a paint splatter. Just use something that changes it. And then I've used the floral down there, but I may cover that up because I would like to have a fabric swatch, which will probably come here or be at the top. Not sure. Let's get the windows in and then we'll see how it all fits together. Okay, ink around the piece. And I'm just going to cut that shape roughly just to see if my window can come and be there. Looks a bit big, so we'll take a bit off. So now I'm just playing around getting the window the right shape. I think that's about the right size. First of all, I want to put in the window panes. So to prepare these, I'm just going to put on some brown ink just to indicate that they are an outdoor piece, so they could be wood, and take away the white frame, but there's nothing wrong with the white frame. I just would like it to be muddied up a bit because I like mine to be a bit vintage. So I'm using that colour there, Vintage Photo. Now you can use these pieces that you've cut away. If you've got any scrap pieces, you could make these all black with the black ink, and then you can cut them up and they can be the little window panes. So you can reuse your scraps there to make them work for you. But I'm going to use my sticker idea over here, and I'm going to use a paintbrush for this, but you don't have to, and I've already got a bit of the black ink already on there, so I'm just going to do that. And it's got a bit of gold shimmer because I was painting with it earlier, and I have a gold shimmer. I have a gold shimmer watercolour. Alternatively, we just take some ink from our ink pad and we just go over the top like that. So that's how that can be very quickly done. Alternatively, you just go over the top like that and just quickly get the ink on your windows. So just taking these little stickers, I'm running them over the glue because they are also a little bit damp. And now you can put your little blackened rectangles down onto your tiles. And that's my window, and then I'm just going to ink around all of that. Now for this one, it's slightly smaller, so I'm going to take my labels. I'm just taking 2, and I'm going to cut them in half. So I've just taken 2, cut them out of there, and then I'm cutting these in half, like that. And then I'm taking them off this paper. Right, taking them off the paper, little bit of glue, and then I'm putting them down. Now this is a little bit more tricky because they are quite tiny, but the effect is good and it was quick to do originally. Now these ones have got rounded corners, so I'm putting the rounded corners on the outside, which can create a realistic look from afar. Okay, I'm going to make, I've just got a little bit of ink here and I'm just going around. I'm just putting a little bit more ink over the top of those window panes, just softening the edge really. We'll just make a much smaller window. That's great. And then just ink around. So play around until you get the size of your windows that you're happy with, and then you can see where you want to have them. So I think I'll probably have mine like that. So now I'm going to stick my windows down. So this one is going to be there. And we are nearly there. We are nearly there. We're going to have sewing down there, which will give us some embellishment along the side. If you don't want to sew, then you might like to put some more texture down this side, or you could have a lace or a fabric or more washi tape, something just to embellish all areas. And then how I did this one is I used a washi tape sticker in the center, so I might do that, and I want to put my trim across the top. So we just need to find something. I've got a piece of lace, so that is going to go there. So just run a bit of glue there for my lace, like that, and then just cut that last bit away. And that's a very basic, very simple little journaling card. You don't need to do any more to it than that. You can have a paper doll there, you can have an image, you can have a flower, you can have an animal. That would be great. And here I think is where I put my scrap of fabric. So we'll see if I've got one. So I'll just take a sample of that because I think that that's a really nice piece anyway. And that can be there. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. And I'm aiming for a shabby chic rather than a grunge. So now what I'm going to do with this little lace piece is I'm going to put it over the top of the window like a curtain. So it can be lifted, you'll still see the window, but it will soften the whole look of everything. And I'm even going to put a piece of lace on the top there. So that is my fabric swatch sample. Now I'm just going to use a little tiny safety pin, a little garment pin. You can get these from Tim Holtz, but you can also find them sometimes on clothing labels, and then you collect them up, the little baby safety pins. So I'm just going to add this to my fabric sample and just make the pin a embellishment feature. So it looks like that. That's going to come over the top of my window and it'll look like that. I'm gluing the whole lot down now. Now we've created an interactive element to this little piece because we can see the window underneath. That's all glued on. There is our house looking slightly like this one, but not really. Instead of a washi tape sticker, I might put another piece of fabric over the door like that. So I'm just going to glue that on with some stick glue and a little bit of fabric glue in the centre there for good measure. And that was just some stamped cotton fabric. So I'll put that down there. And now what I'm having over here is my number 3. Little piece of vintage music paper just to add something else there. There we are. Add a little sticker there with the number 3 to finish that off. And I could do the same on this one if I wanted to, but that is essentially all I'm doing. And there we go, that is my little house. So what I will do now is just put some sewing around it. It's not necessary, but I think it will add to the sort of the shabbiness of the piece. And we've got 2 little swatches there with pretty lace and a silk, and then this one is a very nice cotton and another piece of vintage lace. There we go. And the only reason I backed this one with the coffee is because I put a staple through there, and so I covered it up. But on this one I don't have to, I'll just ink around. What I'll do is I'll just come in, blend round with my now grey muddy colour ink that I used here, which is a bit of both of those inks actually, but that's all right. Just adds to the general vibe. And then I think what I'll do, oh, got a butterfly just flown in. Could put a butterfly down there, or we could just have a bit more stamping like that. That's quite fun. I think we'll leave it, and then I'll just put in some text up here as well. And that is all we do. The other thing you can do is take a white gel pen and just put a couple of little lines around the window just to give the sense that there is light coming in. So we can just put a little L shape around there like that. Adds a little depth to those black pieces, just makes them look a bit more 3D. And lift this one up and do the same there as well. Fun, fun, fun. And there we go. You could have something up the top if you really want to do any more to it. You could have a chimney. But I'm just going to sew around, and those are my journaling cards. Now we're going to need somewhere to put our journaling cards, and what I want to do is make a folio. This is something that can be added to the journal. It can be bound in, or it can be tucked in, and it can house ephemera or the special pieces of paper that you want to use within your journal. It's great for keeping you organised, and it's a fun project to make. So I'm using manila file folder for mine. That's the thickness that we're looking for, but it could be a packaging like a cereal packet, something that's not too thick, something that you can bend easily without much scoring. You don't have to use a scoreboard for something like a file folder, but you could if you wanted to. For for this, you're going to need to cut away the back portion like that. So you get your trimmer and you will just be cutting that bit away. So what we can do from here is then just turn it in, and you can leave approximately 1/4 of an inch, and with your bone folder just press down gently and put in that crease. Now on this file folder there are score lines already built into the folder, so that when you have papers in there, there's the ability for it to round around them and expand. So I'm coming into the first, so we've got the first score line. I'm going to line up this with the second score line that's already there. So it's that. So I'm coming 1/2 an inch. So on this side I'm 1/2 an inch away from the main crease or fold, and here I'm 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just lining everything up, and then again just pushing down with my bone folder and putting in that crease. And there we have that, the starts of it. Now I can pull this one out, and there's the wraparound bit there. And from here what I want to do is trim this down, because this is too long for what we want. We want it to fit in with the signatures that we've been creating over the last few months. So now what I want to do is reduce this on the trimmer or the guillotine by 3 inches, so that I'm left with a sizable portion here. So this will be the piece that I take away. That's the remaining spare piece, and this is the piece that I will be working on as my folio. So that's what it would look like. We would take away that. Although what I did was I took a little slither away from the bottom just to take away that shape there. So probably another scant quarter. I came in just a few millimeters and took a little bit off there. And we've ended up with this, and this is the scrap. Now these scraps are going to be useful because these can become pockets or tucks, useful cardstock. It could be more journaling cards, so that's great. This is the start of a folio. This is where I will take the next video, so I shall have this, and we're going to be making the folio out of just these pieces. So it was only one file folder needed for the entire month's project. Okay, so that's that. And then these journaling cards will come and live inside here. We'll find space for them, and you know, they'll have some areas there. Now when you get going with the journaling cards, they come together quite quickly. As you've seen, you can just add 2 windows or 1 window, you can cover a window, you can just have fun playing around with where you want to put the door, the windows, and what decorative papers you're going to use. And here's another one which I've made, which is a different colour, and it's slightly slimmer, and this has just got 1 window on it, and the door is in the middle. So those are some ideas of the journaling cards. They look quite nice stacked up. You can even link them together and have a concertina, and you've got the journaling space on the back. So those are the 3 journaling cards that we're looking for to make this month. So the next video we'll be decorating up this folio. We're going to make it so that the journaling cards have pockets and everything comes together and makes more sense. Okay, I just want to show you what I've been sent from my swap partner, Maria, who lives in the north of England. And I've already opened it and tried to film it, but the film didn't work. So I didn't get too far, but I will just show you where I've got to in just one moment. But I just wanted to let you know that all things that I receive from the girls do end up in my journals that I make. So this was my autumn one, and this is now going to be part of the winter swap for the next 3 months. We'll be working on this journal. So this concludes the autumn, and all the things that are here ready to be stuck in. I've got all the tags and all the beautiful things that have been made, and the things that have been sent, things that I want to transform. I haven't quite stuck it in. I wasn't very well actually throughout December, so I did struggle a little bit with all the things that I wanted to do, but I've got this lovely journal and it's really, really great. So all the things will get put into a journal that I of course treasure, and this is no exception. So whatever is in here is going to become my next project. So I'm just going to pull everything out and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, let's have a little look. We've got a card here from Maria. It says, "Dear Melanie, I hope you enjoy this swap I made you. I only sent a few extras as requested. This card is of a painting I made and it's been popping up in all the photos people post on the Facebook group. Love, Maria. P.S. I'm so happy to be part of this group. Thank you." And this is called Safe Harbour and it is by Maria van Tintellen. And you can find Maria over on Instagram for more of her beautiful art. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Painting there, vibrant blues of the harbour, absolutely stunning. You've got the pinks coming in, the yellows, and it's just lovely. How relaxing is that? So talented. What beautiful colour work there. I absolutely love that. That's the sort of thing that I would like to look at in my craft room and feel all zen and relaxed. So there we are. Aren't we lucky to be surrounded by so many talented, lovely people? So I will show you here. These are the colour swatches that have been sent to me by Maria, and they are proper artist ones. She's put all the colours that she's used down the side there in gorgeous ink that she's used, and look, all the pinks that she's been mixing up, crimson and white, and then she's told me exactly how she's done that. That's so great. And then we've got the turquoise blues, and they are so similar to what we can see in this wonderful painting. In fact, that pink sets that card off nicely, doesn't it? And it's even going to come and fit in the journal. So there we go. That's all going to work out brilliantly. They're lovely, really great. Love the tattered edges. And then they can be so many things. They can be a journaling card, they can be a bookmark, they can be a side tuck, they can be a belly band, and I'm sure we'll find more things as well. So these look like a few little extras, which I'm delighted with because it can get so overwhelming. And then these are the papers. Now I'm trying really hard not to rip this gorgeous tissue paper because it's so useful to have the tissue paper. You can do lots of things with it. It's fun to make monogami pouches, as we've seen, and if you'd like to see any of the projects that I put up always on the first of the month, you can have a look at Send a Signature 2024, which is a playlist here on YouTube. If you like what you're seeing, you'd like to follow along, do please click on the subscribe button, then you'll be able to find me in your subscription list, and you can come and follow along how we're going to make this folio, and you can also play along from home. And if you would like to make your own signature, which is what we've got here, we are making them out of 8 to 10 pages. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's even got a front cover here. And look, Maria did not know that I would be making little houses today. We are looking at little houses. Isn't that so sweet? So we could even make the little houses with the double chimney pots and the 4 windows. And I could have some in here that look like that. Oh, wow. Lovely thick paper here. And look, a door. That's what a door should look like. So now I've got reference for when I make more of my journaling cards this month. That's so great. Beautiful colours and lovely fold out parts to this signature here. And then there's a part there that I'll be able to tip in things. I can sew onto that, stick onto that. Lovely door, nice writing space. We've got wax thread here with a nice long trail there, so I could be putting charms or paper embellishment onto the middle if I want to. And then that's nice. That's like the sea. And I live by the coast, so the sea is very special and important part of my life and my upbringing here. So I love all of that and the beautiful colours. Blue is actually my favourite colour. So thank you, Maria. That is absolutely stunning. I couldn't be more pleased with what I'm seeing here. Thank you. Stunning. So let's see. Oh yes, some fun things here. That's done. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so pretty? That's very pretty. Oh, look. These are great little pieces. Nice little bits. Lovely little bits. Really fun. Fun colours. Beautiful bit of lace. And then some nice little boho pieces that we all like. Fun to add to the tops of tags, journaling cards and all the little things. That's unusual little bell pin there. Nice blue one. That matches perfect. Oh, there's another one there. Lovely. It's nice when you see things that you haven't got as well. And a nice scrunchy glassine bag there. Thank you so much. Nice little bits and pieces that I haven't got. So that's great. And then, oh, and another one. Oh, it's the gift that keeps on giving. They're fun. I haven't seen those coloured bell pins. I've only got the plain ones. And that's a bit different, isn't it, when you see colourful things as well. What's this? This is another glassine bag, and then a sentiment: change the world by being yourself. Oh, that's sweet. Sweet. Oxfordshire and Wiltshire. Oh, the houses. They're so great. That's so lovely of you. Thank you. That's really, really kind. Those are great. So they can become little tuck points as well. So they are extra beautiful things to add to the journal. Thank you so much, Marie. I'm so pleased with everything that you've sent. It's been really, really fun to open and receive. And for those of you who were following along and wanted to see what I had in my envelopes, I just want to show you that I received some fun wooden embellishment pieces here for my 22 pocket, and they are of toadstools and leaves and things that I think I can make a dangle out of, so I will like to paint those and enjoy doing that. Some of the things I shall take forward to other journals, the bigger pieces, but I think some of the leaves will just look really sweet on that autumn journal. And then this final envelope, just to conclude everything from last year, was I opened it on the 29th, and look, it is a great big giant butterfly stamp. I'm so pleased. Isn't that lovely? And I can use that in this journal and take this forward for my general supply and have the butterfly image on my journaling pages. And then, of course, this was so pretty, this pocket with this beautiful bead and the squirrel and the hare, little woodland creatures. So that was just lovely. Yeah. So this is going to come and join the party in this journal and be on one of the pages in here. And then I'm going to have the belly band in here as well. So we'll find a slot for all of these things. So there we go. So there we go. That one is all coming together, just wants to be stuck down and decided upon. This month's project is all about home and Hibernate. So I've got plenty of house images to play with here in this fun journal to bring this all together as my new winter project. So thank you very much for joining me. So next time we'll be making the folio, and if you'd like to join in and see how we do that, you can make this up ahead of time and we will be able to embellish that together. So thank you very much. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy new year. So thank you so much to all my treasured viewers out there. I hope to see you much, much more in 2025. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you for sticking by me. And I will be back with some more inspiration shortly. So thank you everybody for watching, and above all, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.